Hey there, Storm Chasers, Brent Cook. Today we're playing a format where it might be my last time recording a video for it in some time. My last two Pioneer videos have not done very well, and honestly, I'm just recording this for me. I wanted to try solve the equation in Lotus, and why not record it? But yeah, my Pioneer videos just haven't been performing that well, so unless this one really takes off, it might just be time for a break. But I'm intrigued by solve the equation in the deck. Being able to find approach or peer really opens up some creative space in the deck, in my opinion. In order to add in the peer, we cut a dig, and that's fine because you're swapping one bomb with another. And then you have some consistency added for solve the equation, finding poor or hidden strings. I think it's going to be pretty good. And then obviously it gets approach. So after you cast approach, you can just tutor for it instead of just like needing to cantrip your way through or dig or whatever. Um, yeah. So this is the deck list. It's straight blue green, no splashes, no black, no red. Um, while Peer and we do have a few like colors in the board. It's primarily just straight blue green. We're really relying on Lotus. We're not playing Burgee or anything else. That's the deck list for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Doing something a little bit different in the board though. We're playing Fog. I've noticed the last few times that I've played Pioneer, the black-white deck that just like makes a huge creature very quickly doesn't beat Fog. Winona, they do play Bone Crusher, but Fog's just what I need to get to the next turn. I'm always one turn behind, so I've been thinking about Fog quite a bit, and then Grasping Dunes for Notion Thief. The rest of the board is pretty stock. I just want to see how this goes. If it sucks, oh well. But I just love Lotus Field and I want to untap it. So that's what I'm going to do here today. If you enjoyed this video, you're always welcome to go to theepicstorm.com/donation decks and submit your combo deck to be featured here on this YouTube channel. Or you can go to theepicstorm.com/shop, pick up a token pack, a pint glass, or a Storm 20 baseball tee. That's my intro. That's what I have to say. I'll see you in round number 1. Welcome to round number 1. I did not look up what our opponent's playing, but I did realize that I forgot to mention, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe. I have plenty of great Lotus Field content here on this channel. In fact, currently the best performing video of all time on this channel I released this week is Lotus Field in Modern. So you're going to want to check that out. In fact, click on that card directly above here and it'll bring you to that video. Lotus Field is bonkers in Modern right now, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you're going to love that deck. So make sure to check that out. Hit subscribe, support this content, and yeah, and also if you're already subscribed, like and comment down below. It does help this video and me personally, so I would greatly appreciate that. All right, we're on the draw. This hand's pretty good. We're going to keep it. So it is a little bit awkward. We don't have another land into put into play turn 1 off this Grazer. That said, we do have this Balaged. So we can put Balaged into play turn 1, turn 2 put the Lotus into play. Another Grazer is a little bit awkward. Looks like there's black-white mid-range. Great draw. Maybe that was a mistake. I think I just punted. I should have thought that through a little bit more. Yeah, I think like in my head I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play the green land, and then when I went to go do it, I was like, yeah, Balaged's my green land instead of just like playing the Bark Channel into the stage, because I could have had this into play untapped and then have stage already in play, which would have been better. Because now I'm gonna get punished by this Thoughtseize discarding approacher strings, or I could just Balaged it back. So that was a small mistake on my part. Honestly, they should probably take strings, but they're going to go for approach. If they have like a Cling to Dust or something, that would be an instant win. Really good draw. Keeping the Grazer in my hand to discard to a possible Atraxa. So right now we have 2 cards. So if, like, for some reason they play Atraxa, reanimate Atraxa, and give it haste, we have 2 cards to discard. Or Atraxa, Croxa. I'm sorry. I literally haven't played Pioneer since my last video, just because of how poorly they've been doing. They're certainly milling their deck. I could chump block the Channeler, get another card to the graveyard for dig. I don't know if that's necessary. Solve the equation, showing up already. I should probably pour in case I draw Brawl. Smart and thin. Smart and thin. Probably discard that. Alright, so I can play Sanctum. And now I just go get the one of Pier. Easy game. Wow. Solve the equation looked pretty good right there, I won't lie. Okay, well, I need to get back the approach. So let's just do that now. Like, Mike's in the way a little bit, so bear with me as I like awkwardly look for my stuff, and they've had enough. I don't know what the next play was. We have 21 cards and 2 strings, and we have a solve the equation, so I can go get a strings, which will make mana with Brawl. It would make 2 mana, which is kind of interesting. So we weren't guaranteed to win right there. I would have needed to hit something off dig, I think. I found that I don't love Grazer in this matchup. I'd rather bring in Nivs because, one, they're a source of card advantage when your opponent is trying to discard all your cards, but they're also an alternative win condition for the effects that remove them from the game. I can't think of what it's called, but the 3 mana exile a bunch of stuff that get zombies. So that dodges it on approach. We still have 2 cards we can bring in. I don't mind Angers, to be honest, so I'm probably going to try those out. I could also just leave in Grazer to maybe erase those effects. That might be slightly better. We're going to try that out. I never remember what it's called until I see it. I'll keep this. But yeah, solve the equation looked really good right there. It was just demonic tutor for Pier. I can't help but wonder if I'm supposed to play a Balagad next turn, so that way after I play Lotus the next turn I have an untapped land, so I'd have 4 mana, but I don't know if that actually matters. Alright, well, now I'm going to play this. Okay, so we will eventually have our Tron combo of Lotus Field plus stage in a couple turns. Balagad Recovery getting no respect. Alright, go get stage. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit scary. They're about to have back-to-back thought seizes against us. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to need a top deck in order to win this game. And they actually have a pretty fast clock, too. That would have been a good draw if they didn't have triple Thoughtseize coming. So next turn we'll have 7 mana. So something we can do is, let's assume they discard this pour, and then we draw a blank. We can play our land, and then Balagad back for strings, Balagad back for pour, cast pour with no hand. That's an option. And that option just died with Kroxa. Yeah, I don't think we're getting this one. Maybe they won't Thoughtseize us after I discard all the targets that they know about. They're definitely going to Thoughtseize us. Yeah. It's just not good enough. Is this a Kroxa? If it is, they should probably attack with Channeler first. Yeah, that just like wasn't optimal sequencing. So it takes 6, go to 2. Now I have to top deck. Pier. Nope. Alright, going to game 3. Still think I want the Grazers. Nah, let's do the Angers. Why not? Get rid of some of that card advantage that they were sitting on. So if we hit the land on turn 2, this hand's amazing. But if we don't, it's going to look pretty bad. Yikes. I think I'm going to try it. This matchup isn't super fast. I think that I can actually have a few draws to miss. Oh no, apparently I had to skip my first turn. Ah! That's annoying. That was such a punish. So essentially, our opponent gets to be on the play, and they get to have the extra card. It's just brutal. And I would have hit the land, so I got punished. Ugh. So I actually don't mind keeping the land on top. So many discard spells. So 5 cards. It's we could in theory dig. Third Thoughtseize. Jeez. So dig's probably off the table now. Yeah. Why did they shock? You have like a push? Or is it because it's free? It's probably because it's a free play. Alright, so our opponent's up to 4 cards again. Alright, so they hit a Croxa. That stinks. Now they just need another red source. Thoughtseize number 4. Jeez. Okay. Opponent is with 2 cards in hand. They're finally getting in there. Hey, we got to untap with a pour. What can we do, though? Apparently that's the answer. It's crazy. I think I'm actually going to discard the land. I want to back... Oh, I need to undo that. I want to back up Niv Mizzet. Like, the land isn't that good. And unfortunately, we have to pass here. Alright, Alright, so we're going to draw a card for turn. Okay, our opponent had enough. So we are going to attack, put them to 4, cast Hidden Strings, untap these 2 lands, get the trigger off this, put them to 3, and draw a card. I don't know if that wins the game, this turn at least, but our opponent decided that it was enough. So we won game number 3 after skipping our turn. Pretty sweet. We're 1-0. Hopefully you at least enjoyed this first match. Solve the Equation looked pretty good to me. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you in match number 2. Okay, round number 2, our opponent revealed a Yorion. I don't know what that means exactly, but it's probably a control deck. This is a great hand. I just wish that this approach was an action spell, but we're going to try this. We do have the turn 1 Grazer into Temple that everyone dreams of. Everyone dreams of that hand. Come on, don't lie to yourselves. Maybe not a control deck. I'm going to keep it. Don't judge me. I don't know what's happening. Should I know what's going on right now? I mean, it's an interesting card. So, I mean, it really depends on what our next draw step is and what our opponent does. But let's say our opponent just like taps out for a card that I don't care about. I would consider just casting Approach and passing, and then next turn scrying, cycling, seeing what we can do. Okay, so they can get a 3-drop, which is probably Archon of Emeria. Okay, we can actually beat that with how our hand is set up. That's kind of funny. Still think I'm supposed to cast Approach this turn. So right now the approach is 7 down. We'll take our draw step, will be 6 down. We can scry, and that would put us 5 down. Just trying to keep that in the back of my mind. Opponent's really in the tank here. You're really gonna make me block? Come on. Show some respect. So the exile card costs 2 more to cast, which isn't the end of the world when we can't really cast anything anyway. So this means that our Blast Wind will have 3 counters on it, which is enough to blow up Archon next turn. And when we take our draw step, approach will be 4 down. Right? So we took a draw step, that puts it 6 down. We scry to the bottom. Yeah, it should be 4 down, I believe, after the draw step. So like strategic planning or a pour won't necessarily get there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Clothis, okay. Pretty interesting draw. Alright, so next turn we'll be drawing the approach. There's just no reason to even attack. So I guess maybe playing Pathway was a mistake, because I could have another Lotus with Thespian Stage right now. I don't know if this deck plays counterspells in the main deck. I suppose I could look it up. Archon of Emeria, enchantments. No counters in the main deck. So next turn we just flat out win the game. Sideboard they have 3 Mystical Dispute, a Comball, Rest in Peace, 2 Unmourned Ego. So we're going to want to board in Disputes. Opponent really deep on the tank here. There's no Notion Thief, so I don't know if I need a board in Grasping Dunes. Yeah, I'm not seeing Notion Thief in any list. I think I might actually want the Anger, though, because Anger answers Comball and Archon of Emeria. So now they can get a 5-drop. Alright, so I just won the game. Nice main deck Archon of Emeria. I hope you enjoyed that. Alright, so we probably want these. Niv seems okay. Get rid of these grazers. We probably want these. So what are we boarding out? 5 cards. Probably get rid of Solve the Equation. Is Niv a card I actually want? Well, I should probably have one. At least one, because it helps me beat Unmourned Ego. And they strike... I guess we did see Chain to the Rocks. Part of me wonders if I could just do that. Well, they're not going to board out Binding of the Old Gods. Like, that's just a card that's not going anywhere. Could try to, like, hedge against Rest in Peace and do this. I just don't know. This board plan is so bad, but I'm going to submit this. Let's do it. I might try to hold the Brawl. I haven't decided yet, Because, like, why would I brawl into anger? Dig is a nice card, but if I'm expecting Rest in Peace and I don't have I don't have anything fueling my graveyard right now, it doesn't seem like a very wise play. And I drew a Dig anyway. I wonder if I should play Brawl with Dispute back up, because then I could counter the enchantment and get a trigger to help dig for field. Admittedly, I am playing into anger. Here we have Spellbinder. Interesting that they took Baral. At the rate our opponent's playing, if there's a game 3, they're going to time out. So they're playing this into the known dispute, which means they have something they'd rather resolve. We can get back to dispute right now, but I don't know how good this is. They're down to 3 cards. Guess I can play Brawl here. There's no point in copying the Stomping Ground or even the Triome because I only get I get 1 red. We really need 2 for anger. All right, so there goes our Lotus. How we win this game now is casting Approach the hard way. We can copy their Triome for white. We can do it that way, or we can play Niv Mizzet, which we also have to do the hard way. And Clothis is going to make this difficult. Just took way too long to find Lotus this game. Yeah, winning this game just like isn't a reasonable expectation, I think. I guess if I find um, approach quickly, I might be able to. Okay, we're dead. We can go to the next one. Maybe like a wilt just isn't a card I want. Is that crazy? Let's try this out. Why not? Maybe I should be a little more aggressive with my brawls, and or that game I should have been more aggressive with my brawl and just jammed it. I don't like. I want to keep this hand, but I don't think I'm supposed to. This is fine. Bottom one of these bark channels. Go get Lotus. Yeah, force and negation. Come on, let's go. I'm well aware force and negation isn't in this format. Alright, so we're going to get stage, play Lotus Field. Alright, second field was not the best draw. Interesting they chose to play this tapped rather than playing the plains. Assuming nothing bad happens to us, we should be able to try to win the game next turn. So I don't know if this counts itself or not. It probably does. So they're going to put an Archon of Emeria into play here, I have to imagine. And then we do get a sort of window here. We can cast Anger into Hidden Strings into Pour. Interesting, okay. So they choose between Pour and Dig. Alright, so now we cast this. And that could have been better. I don't know what the right play is here. I feel like it might be this, because they're going to try to put Yorion to hand next turn and then play it off fires, I think. I don't know what the punish is for blocking here, but it seems like it's a trap, so I'm just not going to block. Like, why play into their trick? Okay, so that was one of their free spells. It's a little annoying. Yep. I think I'm just going to start on the Pour, because if I don't, well, I don't have to answer the combo immediately. is another thing. We just lost. Like, I knew it was a possibility. Damn. Alright, we're gonna be 1-1. Round number 3. We're on the draw, and unfortunately we've only opened Lotus Field, so we're gonna have to ship this. This is a risky one, but I'm going to keep it. Probably get rid of the dig. Our opponent revealed Lure, so we know that they're an aggressive deck. And we're not beating that start. It just doesn't matter. This is such a tough matchup, too. At least it'll be quick. Or so I hope. Yep. It doesn't matter. We're so far behind. I'm probably just conceding after I draw this. I just want to see what the card is. So we'll go to 12, they'll attack. Next turn I can play it. It's just not good enough. The Blast Zone, that is. Alright. Anger's coming in. Pier's going out. I don't know what the next card out should be. Maybe a Solve the Equation? Maybe it's just like a little too slow? Could board in Fog, but I don't really think that this is a Fog matchup. You know, the whole burn spell thing getting through Fog? Yeah. Double Field, Blast Zone. I think we're supposed to ship it. Come on, Dak. This hand's probably too slow. Who knows? Yep. I don't think I want to play the Grazer. Like, I could have played it, put stage in a play, taken 2, but I think that this dies. But maybe that's worth it dying, but then I don't have a card to discard to pour. And that's the reason why I chose not to. is that I really think I am going to need a card to discard to the poor. The fact, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Come on, give me that sweeper off the top rope. Let's go. Nope. So it would have saved 2 damage this game based on the play that they took. I don't know. And if they keep open Burrowstrom here, I just like can't win. So I go to 12 and then take 7. So I go to 5. That means I can cast 2 spells that cost less than... Alright, well, one of them needs to be Anger. So I can solve the equation. The problem is that, like, they're bound to have something in their hand that deals damage. And I'm going to be at 1 life. The alternative is I can go to 3 for Balagad, get back Poor. I'd have to hit the Anger off the Poor, but maybe those other 2 are good enough to keep going. I think it's a little bit of wishful thinking, but I think it's better than just like casting Anger and passing. So I'm going to 1. Alright, so we lose. At least it was quick. 1 and 2. Round number 4. Our opponent has revealed Gigantha, which likely means that we're facing Nibdelite. We do have double field and a land, but I don't think we're supposed to keep this. Let's do it. Good draw. All right. Let's go. I've had this discussion with a few of my friends. You can basically break Magic players down into 2 camps. Those that think on their opponent's turn and those that don't. And it's pretty obvious to tell the people that don't. Like I have a friend who whenever they're playing... Okay, so they're on Jund Sacrifice. Whenever they're playing, they spend their opponent's entire turn making sure that they're not cheating and don't think at all about their plays on their own turn. And it's just like a little mind-boggling to me. How they don't like do any thought process on their opponent's turn. Not that it's wrong, it's just like very different from how I think and play. So with the turn 2 Mayhem Devil, they're gonna make us take 2 when we play Lotus Field, because it's whenever a player sacrifices a permanent. So our life total will actually be dropping pretty quickly. Thoughtseize hurts here. They're going to make a food on our end step. They chose not to attack, so we got a little bit lucky there. Um, hmm. I think that this is just slightly better. A little nervous about this play. Can they make a food? I think I'm supposed to take the dig. I think the pier's just too risky. So we think about how this game plays out, and the reason that I bought him the pier is so we go to 18 next turn. Well, they also chose not to make a food right there. So we can either block and go to 15, or we can block, or we can go to 15. Our opponent's supposed to make a food there, so like that's a free 17 damage plus whatever they have in their hand. Our next turn, we were literally just copying Lotus Field and passing, playing a Balagad. So that's another like time walk turn for our opponent. And then they get to do a bunch of stuff on their next turn. So by the time I cast Pier, I'm at a very low life total, and they could probably just kill me after Pier resolves. I should undo. See how it goes. Alright, they remembered their food token this time. I don't think I'm supposed to take the approach. I'm going to take the hidden strings. Do I get to untap? Alright, so we're going to 15. No, that was not great. Thinking about how I want to play this turn. I can always bail again for Pier next turn if that's something I want to do. But I don't want to make them think that lowering my life total matters, which is why I got the poor. It's free to keep Vizier on top because it's just a free mana next turn. So they have 5 mana, which is just 1 mana short of Bolas's Citadel. Alright, let's go. So each one of these makes a mana. I don't think I'm going to need to play Pier. And that's just going to win the game. Cycle to make mana. It's less clicks to cast Solve the Equation. Gotta get that click value. Woo woo. And we got game number 1 over Jund Sacrifice. Definitely want these angers. I think I'm going to keep the Pier in the deck, but it is a little bit risky. And I think we probably take out Strategic Planning. So this is a matchup that's all about speed, so you can't really afford to take out Grazers or Viziers. I think you have to take out setup cards, which would be Strategic Planning. So that's why I made this decision. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. My feelings won't be hurt, but at least explain why you feel that way and then what you would board out. A little bit slow, but I think I'm going to keep it. Alright, so we have essentially both halves of the Tron combo, as I like to call it. The Sylvan Scrying represents Lotus Field and then obviously Stage. I did not board in an answer for Damping Sphere. I guess we have Blast Zone. Go get Blast Zone then. The reason to get Blast Zone here is I have 4 Lotus that I can draw, but I only have 1 Blast Zone, so it's just guaranteed get the Blast Zone. Alright. I can move my sideboard back down. Everyone see all of our opponent's permanents. They're almost to the City's Blessing, only a few away. It's weird to me that this deck is playing Sphere in the board. I didn't realize that was a thing. Mostly because they're a Boss's Citadel deck. Yeah, this list has 3 in the board. Looks like this list, looks like they're too good for Citadel now. It's a sideboard card. They don't play it main deck. My interest in ever playing this deck just dropped way off. The fact that they're not playing it. I think I'm just going to add counters. Part of me is wondering if I should actually like create a setup turn so that way I don't lose to a second sphere, and like play out a couple of Viziers and like just make sure that when I get to untap I can win. Thoughtseize hurts a little bit. That's probably the correct choice. So that's a dead draw. Oh, no, I can't cast two. Never mind. That's just not true. I'm just going to play these out then. That's annoying. Are they gonna kill my Vizier? They could sack Gilded Goose to Witch's Oven for another point of damage. And then play like a Fabled Passage and then kill the Vizier, but they're going after me. Alright. Another Lotus Field. Might as well go get a Scry land with this. I think next turn I will play a Lotus Field, and because we have enough mana to still have 3 mana into Destroy Blast Zone. But maybe I don't want to do that because then they'll get 2 triggers and they could kill a Vizier. I just don't know. They're thinking pretty hard here. So they can sack the goat and gill the goose to kill a vizier. But it'd just be easy. I guess they don't. They know that I have a Lotus, but they don't know that I'm thinking about playing it out early. So they're gonna get a food token that they can sacrifice to gill the goose, make a mana, and then sacrifice the food for mana, and then sacrifice the goose to Oathstrider and kill a vizier. That actually makes a lot of sense. And then they're gonna sacrifice the gill the goose. Nope, they've just decided to quit. All right. Well, sorry that wasn't a super interesting ending, but we're 2-2, 1 round left to go. The final round featuring Solve the Equation, Lotus Combo, and Pioneer. Let's get this W. I'm on the play. I think we've been on the draw the previous 4 rounds, but don't quote me on that. This hand's risky. We do have a Scry land. Why not? Let's do it. I'm going to hit my land. I don't need to worry about it. It's fine. All right, well, that's obviously not a land. That goes in the bottom. Come on, deck. Opposite of a land. Probably the worst draw in the deck. It's blue-black control. Get punished. I don't know if we're going to win this one. Why not? Yeah, they're holding up sensor too. All right. I've seen enough. That was bad. For Notion Thief. Alright, get these effing grazers out of here. Alright, now you have to find room for 4 more. I don't hate taking out brawls, just like completely make Fatal Push an embarrassing card for them. And maybe a Solve. Solve might be a little bit expensive without Brawl in the deck. Or we can keep 2 Brawl, get rid of the Solves altogether. That might be slightly better. Let's try it. Friendly reminder, if you want to support this Storm content, you can go to theepicstorm.com/shop. Get all of your combo needs. I would highly recommend it. You can also do a donation deck. Once again, you can do those at theepicstorm.com/donation decks. Or you can pick up a mini token pack from theepicstorm.com/shop. All great choices. All right, game 2. I'm going to try this. It's not the best hand. But if you're able to find Lotus, you already have Pier. Like, the approach isn't really a card I want, but like, as a 6, this is a fine hand. All of the stages. Sort of hoping they like tap out or play a cantrip or tap land. Let me resolve the Sylvan Scrying. Well, that's not happening. You know what? I'm going to go for it. Okay, well that paid off. They luckily have a sensor in hand. Yep. Nice. What is this? A shark? Sure. So I think we're going to try to get them on their next end step. We're going to dig and then copy stage. Hopefully they'll try to interact. Oof. Wow. Was not expecting that out of blue-black. Yikes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of date on Pioneer, but like last time I was playing, I don't remember seeing that out of the control decks. Yeah, the first list doesn't have it. Okay, the second list has it. Actually, it's blue-white control. That's not even blue-black. I don't know why that's in here. Yeah, the third list doesn't have it. Yep, okay. So, our out is our only... blast zone. It's brutal. Not looking good for the home team. Going to 12 here. I could try to dig, but there's no way it resolves. So now we're going to 9. We would have to draw last one of our next 2 draw steps to stand a chance. All right. So that would put me to 1. Which shuts off the pier in my hand. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this, even with drawing the blast zone. I would need my opponent to just not have anything in hand. And I don't think that's a realistic ask. We just needed more time. Like, one more turn to set up. Now we lose to a censor. And that's the ball game. So unfortunately, we went 2-3. It happens. Yeah. I think solve the equation was fine. There was a few scenarios where it was pretty good. If I played more of this format moving forward, I'd probably continue to test this. It seemed pretty strong to me. Let me know what you thought. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do another Pioneer in the future, though. Probably not very likely. If I do, it's probably going to be in another few months. Just because, like, the views on the Pioneer videos have been so low. The format's just really struggling. It has no support, no reason to play it. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I love playing this deck. It's a blast. It made me fall in love with Lotus Field, and now I'm playing Lotus Field in Modern. But that's what I have to say. I hope you at least enjoyed this a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Hey, Bryant here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.